Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're talking about legend cards and a bit of a brief history. Of course, I'm not going through every single set in football, soccer that has legend cards in it. But one of the first ones that I think is really iconic is of course the Panini Mexico 70 World Cup collection. This is not an official binder. This is just a really cool book that actually is printed book that highlights all the pages in the actual binder. But this is probably one of the first examples of legend cards. So they actually sort of highlight the previous World Cup tournaments and make mention of some of the star players in that competition, the World Cup winners, poster cards, and you can see some pretty notable names, the likes of Puskas, and then we see likes of Garincha, Eusebio. So these are a fairly early sort of history legend type cards that I think are fantastic. And I think, moving forward in World Cup sets are very relevant, having that small insert subset to highlight some of the best players from the World Cup history. And the main reason why I'm doing this type of video is because I feel as though legend cards I used to absolutely love in sets gone by, but I feel like they're getting a bit overprinted. There's a lot of them, and I think that it's getting a bit too much from Topps and Panini in producing all these cards. But I think in terms as far as World Cup sets goes, they're extremely relevant, and some of the earliest examples there. If we're talking strictly Premier League and English football, here's a fairly sort of early example of type of legend cards. So in the Pro Set release from 91, there was actually a number of legend type cards, including the likes of Denis Law, Bobby Charlton, and George Best there. So some really cool legend type cards. And we see Bobby Moore, Jimmy Greaves, Gordon Banks there as well. So good examples of some pretty cool legend type cards. And then as far as English football goes, there really wasn't any type of legend cards up until 2003. And this is a fantastic example. This is sort of the 10th year anniversary of the Premier League. So they did some of these Player of the Year cards for each season. Here's a selection of 8 from that set. And we've got some beauties here, including Shearer, Ferdinand, Bergkamp, Ginola, Keane, Sheringham, and Van Nistelrooy. All were sort of Player of the Years in each of their seasons. So a great example of a really classic legend insert set that was released. And on the backs, they actually have the Young Player of the Years for each of those seasons as well. So a really pretty iconic set. But yeah, as I say, it only was a good sort of over 10 years since we'd seen any type of legend card since. So that is a brilliant set. And then if we continue on with, again, Premier League legend type cards, it wasn't until these type of legend cards from Matchtack in 20... Now this is the 20th year anniversary. So again, another full 10 years after this collection, we saw Matchtack release quite a lot of legend type cards. This is only a small selection of them, but they released legend cards. They released in sort of golden moment cards, which you're seeing here. So some iconic type of goals that were scored in the competition. Di Canio there with that celebrating that fantastic scissor kick goal. Some really notable names here, as well as some lesser known names, which is I think equally cool. Guys like Inamoto, JJ Okocha, Sean Goater, Jeff Horsfield. I think he scored like a last minute goal for West Brom in that Great Escape. But I absolutely love this Matchtack Legend and Golden Moment insert set from 2012, I believe. So yeah, that's another example of a really cool Legend set, but there's certainly not, as you say, over a course of 20 years, only a couple of sets that were released for Legend type cards. If we fast forward to 2015, they released some really cool, this is from Topps Premier Gold, some really cool, this is only 9 examples here, but some fantastic appearance makers, top scorers, So these are brilliant looking cards celebrating some of the best in the Premier League era. And yeah, these are Topps Premier Gold 2015. And this is only a small selection, but again, another great example of really effective use of legend type cards. And for me as a set collector, these are an absolute must-haves. So this leads me on to the fact of, okay, in the past we've seen legend cards, but in only, a smaller portion of sets over the years. Nowadays, when it comes to Topps and Panini product, we're seeing legend cards in every single set, and quite often they're almost the most desirable cards in a product. Whether it's Thierry Henry sort of inserts and Lampard inserts and Rooney, and these type of guys are actually commanding, equally impressive prices as some of the nice rookies or world-class players of the current times. So this sort of video, I just sort of wanted to do this because I think that collectors nowadays really should be honing in on playing days cards for lots of these legend cards that we're seeing in recent sets. And I'll give a bit of an example of that with my Lampard collection. So here are some of the more recent legend type cards that have come out for Lampard. Typically Topps products, and some really cool designs. Don't get me wrong, some really cool designs, and I've really quite enjoyed collecting these. As you can see, there's some fantastic looking cards. But ultimately, these are, a bit of a luxury item in terms of, as far as Lampard cards goes, I would always gravitate towards the playing days cards as a priority. So the Lampard cards to collect, of course, all of these rookie materials, all through playing days. And I mean, there's actually not that many to get through when you think about it. But I think that ultimately, I think people should, as I say, I've mentioned this plenty of times before in my past videos, to always delve into sort of playing days material and utilize any post playing day stuff as a bit more of a luxury type of item. Cool cards, obviously a lot more accessible nowadays that this type of product's been ripped, but it's a bit concerning considering that we're seeing so much legend type cards nowadays compared to previously. And I just hope that it can get kind of boring when it's the same old names all the time. Lampard for Chelsea, Henry for Arsenal, Beckham for Man United. Ronaldo and Messi will be in literally every set moving forward. So just be cautious on buying these type of cards when it's got to be a never-ending cycle with these type of legend cards moving forward, unfortunately. But hope you have enjoyed this video. This is a bit of a brief, very brief history of some of the cool legend cards that have come out in the past, and some that I really enjoy. But interesting times now. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.